Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Japanu Toyzu. Previously we looked at Jinrai, or Super Jinrai if you would, or Power Master Prime. So why not continue on and do Godbomber, or Apex Armor as he's known in America. He is certainly a thing that was called a Transformer. And you'll see why I don't class him as a real Transformer as we look through the video. So let's sit back, or you sit back while I go and edit this. You sit back, you enjoy, just tell me what you think, or whatever. Thanks guys, let's get on with this. So yeah, Godbomber is the end of a trailer, with wings and a missile launcher on it. It doesn't make a very interesting alt mode, so it's not a great start to the video. However, the detail on it is similar to Jinrai's, though it does have some nice standout parts. Obviously, the front of the trailer is lovely and chromey goodness, so if you like yourself some chrome, I don't know, you can pick up this toy and lick it like a lollipop. I know, that's what I do in private at night. It's not just chromey goodness, of course, it's actually got some quite nicely bits of sculpted detail put on here as well. And of course, these are the windows where the kids would probably look out, if they're, of course, not killed when God Jinrai combines, or when Godbomber, transforms. Maybe they die in there, maybe they escape with their lives intact. I don't like to dwell on this kind of subject. And I don't think I really want to be in a vehicle that has 3 children driving it at once. Somehow that, to me, seems like a bad idea. When you look at the side of the trailer here, you can see straight away that this is going to be extremely parts-formery, with a lot of not actual transformation and more like Lego pieces pulling off and whatnot. But it is quite cool that it continues the big blue swish that Prime's trailer had on it as well. And finally, the back of the truck is extremely dull. I mean, all you've got are these stickers for the headlights and, I'm guessing they're headlights. But if you don't have these on, it's really bland. It's hella boring. But that's really all the detail for this mode, so I suppose it's time to, quote-unquote, transform this thing. So after that amazing transformation scene, we have the robot mode here, and although it does have some quite nice detail molded into the actual figure here, it lacks a lot of colour, and it doesn't really pop in my eyes. This is the biggest problem I have with the robot mode, well, bar some other things of course, but it doesn't do anything for me. I look at it and I go, that's a little bit too bland. Talking about bland, of course, the legs from the front are really annoying to me anyway. Basically because, as you can see, they're split down the middle, one side being blue, one side being grey. Don't worry, I understand why they've done this. It makes sense, but to me, I look at these and I go, hey, they look like the pants that the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air would wear, yeah, kind of 90s and kind of stupid looking. And again, there's nothing to it. All the detail is on the side of these legs. And again, don't get me wrong, I understand what that's for. That's for God Jinrai's mode, right? I get it. But that kind of exacerbates how bland these legs are just in Godbomber mode. However, the chest actually has quite a lot of nice detail put in here. A lot of very robot-y feeling bits of detail have been added here and there. But again, there's no colour, it's just grey. There's only one sticker here, really, and that's the Autobot insignia. I mean, there's one on his shoulder, but as you can see, it's not desperately interesting. Oh, and the arms, well, what can you say about the arms? They're extremely hollow. You can tell these were not made for just a robot mode. You know that they go on to something else. And of course, if you're watching this review, you probably know that anyway. But on their own, here, they are not good. Oh, these arms. Jesus. Finally, the head. Now, some people may assume that I don't like it on the basis of what I've been talking about so far. However, because the character, from what I vaguely remember, is meant to be kind of a drone-like robot and not quote-unquote alive, I don't mind it because it's kind of bland and it's kind of basic. But for a drone-like robot, it works quite well, I think, because it has no character to it. So in that aspect, it works brilliantly. Okay, so you probably want to know about some articulation now, so let's get straight on to it. Take this gun off here, and you can move the arm up like this and pop it off incredibly easy. You can also bend this wing bit, but it doesn't really seem to peg all the way in there. Even when you push it super hard, it doesn't seem to quite go in. The angle here of these two shapes don't really work either, because you'll normally have it like that. But if you want to get it pegged in better, you turn it to that angle. But now when you try and move it back to neutral position, it brings the wing down. And then you freaking pop it off again. Oh, jeez, I hate this. So peg it back in, and that's all the arms do, I'm afraid. But the head does tilt up, so you can have him flying. No twist, just tilt up, so we'll tilt it back. The legs do twist slightly. That much, literally. It has no real use to it at all. And the toes can bend downwards, so if you really want him to fly, you can tilt his head up and get his arm to go like that, and he can fly through the sky. And watch how easy it is to knock his arm off. Just like that. It's ridiculous. We'll put it back on, I suppose. And that's really the length of his articulation falling apart. It's a great feature. And now, after Godbomber has been completely destroyed by Mr. Wolf, I think this is the perfect time to finally create God Jinrai. And now we have God Jinrai here with his new armor bits here and there, which look okay. And as you can probably guess, the articulation hasn't changed on this dude at all. My biggest issue with God Jinrai is the fact that they've added these parts to increase his height, but they haven't really increased his width at all, so he looks very long and lanky, which is kind of something I'm not a big fan of. The wings on his back aren't desperately big and impressive as they should be. Granted, I understand that obviously in the trailer mode he can't have too big of wings or they'll look ridiculous, but these little wings, you aren't going to fly or even glide too well with them, I'm afraid. It has a nice Japanese look to it overall, don't get me wrong, but it's not something I'm completely on board with. I know a lot of people out there love God Jinrai, and I can accept that because it has a lot of playability to it, but for me, it just doesn't do it. So on its own, I don't think Godbomber is worth picking up. However, if you have Jinrai or Power Master Prime, go for it, because it adds extra play value to that toy, though you must be aware that it is not a great toy by any stretch of the imagination, unless you like having your toys fall apart on you. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video, and hopefully I will catch you in the future for another one. Catch you later, guys.